Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Mandela Effect. This is Harmony speaking with insider information. For those of you who know me, I apologize for going through my credentials, but some of you don't know. I worked 11 people below the U.S. President of the United States of America during Desert Shield and during Desert Storm. During that time, it was Bill Clinton. Later, it was George Bush. But anyway, I helped create the Airborne Early Warning Wing, and I began my day every day by reading the CIA Worldwide Intelligence Report. I personally wrote 300 directives and rewrote 500 directives which governed the Airborne Early Warning Wing. So that's a little bit about some of the insider information. This is why some of the reasons why I know what I'm talking about. After I left the military, I went on to, try to resume a normal life, and I went into ministry where I have a couple of degrees in religion. I was a minister for over 10 years. Unfortunately, during that time, I was basically kidnapped. I'm not going to use the word abducted. I was not abducted. I was kidnapped and by what you call aliens and hybrids and forced against my will to work on blackout projects, as you want to call them, but these projects were not sanctioned by the U.S. military. I was one of the only humans involved in these projects. And the government came down, hunted us down, and tracked us down on several occasions and shut down the projects that we were working on. But again, I did not work on these projects by free will. I was forced. So another reason why I know so much. So moving right along with the information, basically there is a species. Oh, by the way, for you flat earthers, just so you know, I'm also, if you know Mark Sargent, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I did appear as a guest on his show. I am subject matter expert number 12. I am Dale, the air traffic controller. I'll post a link to that in this in the description box of this video as well. Just so you know, I'm an expert on flat Earth as well. I also made a video, and I'll post that link. Let me make a note right now. Well, hopefully I remember. Link to my video explaining flat Earth, because flat Earth is another. It's a psyop. It's being controlled by military to redirect you and not let you know the truth. So I explain the truth of what you call the flat Earth in one of my videos as well. But moving right along for the people, basically the bottom line is, for you flat Earthers, there's something beyond the dome. Okay, I'm sorry, there is. There really is. There really is a universe out there. So if you want to say the Earth is flat and there's a dome, great. I'm all for that. But can you put your thinking cap on for just 2 seconds and say there's something beyond the dome? And please stop saying everything's fake, because it's not. Okay? So anyway, the species that I worked with come from the constellation of Norma. As time is measured on Earth, 100,000 years ago, this species created the technology that is directly responsible in causing what you call the Mandela effect. The constellation Norma, if you see this in front of you, you will see how it comes up to like a triangle, and then it goes into this shape. Now, I'll try to reference the shape later on, but try to focus on the shape. Now, the Norma constellation, it's known as the square and the rule. So what I'm getting here is I'm proving to you how the Illuminati and the powers that be are well aware of the constellation Norma, the beings that are behind it, and they are fully read in and aware of the Mandela effect. And as I mentioned many times before, I've been working on the Mandela effect personally for the last 23 years. So the Mandela effect is nothing new. Matter of fact, it's been going on since the technology was invented 100,000 years ago, as time is measured on Earth, and is known as the square and rule. Well, if you look at the Freemasons, what is this? Oh, it's a square and it's a rule. And do you see the shape that they create? Look at the shape. Do you see that shape? Same thing as the Norma constellation. So this is a direct correlation that the Freemasons are fully aware of the Norma constellation. Further, Washington, D.C. is aware of it as well. Here's the White House right there. And you can see how it goes up like this and like that and that and that. It's the same exact symbol as a symbol in the constellation of Norma. Of course, it's upside down here. So the Freemasons are aware of the beings in the constellation Norma. They're aware of the technology creating the Mandela effect, and Washington, D.C. is also aware of the technology and the beings in Norma creating the Mandela effect, and they are working in cahoots with them. Now, the issue is that the Illuminati and Washington, D.C. and the powers that be have been lied to by these beings. They're hiding, these beings even hide the truth from them. See, they think they're all-powerful and all-knowing, and, they think they can run around and control the earth, which, they pretty much have, let's admit it, okay? But here's the real trick here, is they have not been giving the full meaning, the full understanding of the symbol. They have not been given the full understanding of how it really works. What they have been given is what is known as the flower life. In the flower life, this pattern is found all throughout our... oops, I lost a little sheet here. I'm sorry, I'm going to jerk the video. So basically, they have not been given the full truth. So let me see real quick here. I copywrote all this material, was copywritten back in January 21st, 1999 is when I published all these findings. So this is nothing new. This is very, very old news, but I'm sure it's new to you. What's interesting is that, let me move over here, and I need to go. So there's my copyright for 1999. Just give you for further evidence that this is nothing new, and I know what I'm talking about. What happened is, we'll go here. In physics, this is a well-known equation. It is. Why is this doing this to me? I wanted this to be a little bit more clear. Okay, fine, we'll go with this. What you're looking at here, this is known as the Mandela equation. It has two L's. Kind of ironic. We're dealing with the Mandela effect, and it's the Mandela equation. Again, published this in 1999. We've been working on the Mandela effect for 23 years, nothing new. So what this is a mathematical logarithm. It is known as the most advanced mathematical logarithm known to the human species. If you look at this black outline, it is the logarithm that expresses the exact moment that matter becomes chaos. But taken in reverse order, it's when chaos becomes matter. So that's the true meaning and the hint and the truth behind the symbol. But there's a high level overview, and we're just going to be moving along as quickly as we can. So what happened is. Let's go here real quick. Okay, so we have what's known as the Aleister Crowley symbol. So this symbol right here, if you look at it, basically the Illuminati, Aleister Crowley, shadow government, the folks in the know in Washington, D.C., by the beings in the constellation Norma were given this symbol and told this is the all and be all, and they were told some certain techniques and mysteries behind the symbol and how it can be used to manipulate reality. But the issue is, they were just given the flower life meaning of it. They were not given the true meaning behind it. So let me show this a little bit better. Here's the flower life pattern. With the correct physics applied, and you will see that in here is this little pattern. Do you see this symbol? It's the exact same symbol as what is known as the Aleister Crowley symbol. And the thing is that these Illuminati Freemasons, although Satanic worshippers, the Aleister Crowleys, they were tricked into thinking that they were told the true meaning and understanding of how this symbol works. And they were in one aspect, but it's the lowest level. It's how to control the physical reality around our Earth and physical matter. They were not given the true deep spiritual meaning behind it and how it's used to control reality. So even when these beings were working with our government, they were in essence tricking them at the same time, tricking them into believing that it was that they had ultimate power and they could do anything. Now, because they were not given the full knowledge and understanding of the symbol, this is how the Illuminati has not succeeded, and why they're not winning, and how we will eventually take power and control, because they are not given the full power of the symbol. So let's see here, moving right along. Basically, sorry, I'm trying to get a little bit. My computer wants to stop here for a second here. So we have the Mandela equation, and okay, let's go here. What happened is, this is our original universe. So this is known as universe 1, and then everything got manipulated into universe 2. So this was universe 2. And if you look real closely in the center here, you have what is known as the Aleister Crowley symbol. Now, the beings from Norma know the true meaning and the power behind the symbol. Of course, they didn't pass it on to the humans, but what they did is, this is real quick here. This circle here represents the field of quantum physics, which is basically everything large, everything you can see. Over here, my mouse is not working right. Over here is this circle is quantum physics, which is everything small. I think you know quantum physics by now. And this circle here represents the strong nuclear force. There's 4 forces in the universe that can explain everything you see, touch, hear, and experience. Now, to the flat earthers, I know you don't believe in gravity. So for you, you can say there's a strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, the electro, and the magnetic. But if you follow mainstream physics, then it's the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, the electromagnetic, and gravity. In reality, gravity doesn't exist, and it's really the electro and the magnetic. But in reality, there are still 4 forces. And I discovered a third field of physics, and this is what has been clipped from you, and it's classified. They do not want you to know about this third field of physics, which unifies the 2 fields of physics. That's a problem. Right now on an unclassified level, to this day, we cannot unify general relativity, quantum physics, and the 4 forces of the universe, because they are leaving out the third field of physics, which I labeled the invisible. What they have done instead is they created this bogus M theory and hid all my work, and yada yada. So you will notice that these forces are rather large. So these beings from Norma tapped into this center symbol, and they tapped into the center symbol here, and they began sucking power out of these 4 forces. And when they were able to suck the power out of the 4 forces, they were able to split dimensions. If you count how the lines intersect here, the original universe had 8 dimensions in general relativity and 8 dimensions in quantum physics, with 26 dimensions in the middle. And when they sucked the power out of these things, they began to move this spike here 3 degrees, which is known as 33 degrees. So in Freemasons, this is why 33 degrees is so important, is because these beings from Norma sucked the power out of the 4 forces by 30 degrees, and they got stuck at the 33 degree. So they are stuck. So the 33 degree is actually an indicator of how they got stuck and how they cannot move any forward with this physics because they are stuck. So moving on to the present day universe that we now exist in, after they manipulated it, oops, let's do this here. Oh, dang it. I forgot I jerked the camera. Sorry, guys. So basically, you'll notice we have the 4 forces here again. You notice how they're much smaller now that they're level with this line? And then, like I indicated, this little spike used to be up here, but it moved 3 degrees, so now it's at a 33 degree angle, hence the 33 degrees in Freemasons. And you'll see here once again the symbol is what people call the Aleister Crowley symbol, which was used. Basically, they tapped in here, and this is to tap in here, you have to go to the 9th dimension. You tap in the 9th dimension, then you can tap in. You can't go into the 10th dimension, you can't go into all these 26 dimensions, but at the 9th dimension, you tap into the power and you begin to suck the energy out, and you can, and they split dimensions. Once they split dimensions, they create this spike right here. If you notice in the previous diagram, there's no spikes. See how there's no spikes here? You see how this is all large, and you see how this is at the proper 30-degree angle, but then it's going to drop to a 33-degree angle. This is all going to shrink, and you're then going to create a spike. So the beings from Norma took over reality by tapping the 9th dimension and manipulating the universe 2, creating universe 3. So now that we are now on universe 3, and again, you can see how this is all small. You can see how they create these spikes. When they created these spikes, they created the 9th and the 10th dimension. They thought they were basically taking control of the whole universe and expanding themselves out into further dimensions to take control of the universe. But all they're doing is they just created a 9th and a 10th dimension inside what the already known quantum and general relativity, and in essence they keep digging themselves in the hole further and further and further, and they're really going nowhere. So even these beings from the constellation of Norma don't know what they're doing, and they're stuck as well. So it basically it's a very convoluted universe, if you will. So and this is where we're at right now, is they're stuck at the 33. They're stuck. They can't create any more than 10 dimensions, and they're just stuck. Everything's on lockdown. The Illuminati don't even understand this concept, because, as I mentioned, they're still over here. The Illuminati Freemasons, they're working on this flower life stuff which is local to the physical universe. When they think they're working on this stuff, but they're not. They've been tricked and they've been fooled. Everyone's been lied to, and now it's just we are in a big, huge stalemate, and that is essentially where we are at today. Now that everything's in a big stalemate, Source God Creators coming in and saying enough's enough. We're going to start collapsing all this stuff and bring everything back into one reality, into the singularity, back to its true purpose, its original purpose and design, and restore order. And the Illuminati are going to lose, because they have no concept of even what's really going on. The beings from Norma know that they've gone as far as they can with this physics. Now, did I mention one thing I want to bring up? Another thing about these beings in the constellation of Norma. I think I forgot to mention this. The great, just Google the Great Void, and right next to the constellation is the constellation of Boots, and there is what is known as the Great Void. And in the visible universe, let's say 100% of it's visible. Out of that 100%, 5% is a complete void, blank. It's dark. Nothing exists there. And I'm sorry I didn't bring up a very good picture of this. I keep forgetting to do that. But this is known as the largest void in the visible universe, where everything's blank here. It's because these beings next door, Norma, are sucking all the energy out of here. And they want to come here, and they want to suck all the energy out of our, the Milky Way as well. And, do the same thing here they did there. And I can go, there's a whole bunch of side shoots and off stories and segues to what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and I'm not going to go into this at this time. This is essentially just a high-level overview of everything that's going on. If you want to get into the physics of it on a more slower pace, where I do, it's a 26-page paper, but I made about, I think, 14 videos where I slowly talk and explain it, and I show you all the diagrams, and I explain the physics for you. And it is my paper that is called the oops, did I do this wrong? Let me find this real quick here. Sorry guys, where is it? Let's go back. I lost it. Oh, sorry, I guess I lost it. Well, give me 1 second here. So basically, as I showed you, the paper, the Throne of God, copyright 1999. So I go through in detail. So this is the paper, The Throne of God. It elucidates the theory of everything and fulfills Einstein's unification theory, now explained by me, aka it's also known as physics of the Bible. Basically, what I do is I say, here's the parable in the Bible, and I say, here's the physics. And then I say, here's the physics, and here's the Bible. So I thought, because of my Bible background in physics, I basically am showing to you how the Bible displays profound physics. It talks about even Einstein's unification theory in the Bible. It's the Bible is just a wealth of information if it's interpreted correctly. So I bring it to light to you for the very first time. I don't know anyone else who's ever done this to this day, where I explain all the physics in the Bible. And it's my Throne of God series. I do have 2 YouTube channels. There's Harmony Mandela Effect and one Harmony Mandela Effect. People ask why I have 2 channels, because I've been making videos for a couple of years now. My original channel, Harmony, got hacked and shut down, and I had, like, at that time, I think I got like 8,000 subscribers in 3 months. That whole channel got trashed, lost all my subscribers and everything. Anyway, so you're welcome to go through in detail. If you have questions, in some of my videos, I post my public group you can join. I have a private group, which is Veda, yada, yada, yada. So I'm very easy to get a hold of and to talk to if you so desire. And of course, we have the community of people you can talk to as well. So I apologize if I went too fast. This is just a very quick, high-level overview of our universe, the beings that are messing with us, and the who is really behind the Mandela effect, and in quick summary, what is going on. Thank you very much. God bless and good night.